Good afternoon, everyone. Today, the Cuban National Assembly appointed Miguel Diaz-Canel to be the next president of Cuba. Cuban citizens had no real power to affect the outcome of this undemocratic transition process. We are disappointed that the Cuban government opted to silence independent voices and maintain its repressive monopoly on power, rather than allow its people a meaningful choice through free, fair, and competitive elections.
I just want to ask you one brief question about your Cuba comment.
Yeah. Cuba's new president should take concrete steps to improve the lives of the Cuban people, to respect human rights, and to cease repression and allow greater political and economic freedoms. We urge the new president to listen and respond to Cuban citizens' demands for a more prosperous, free, and democratic Cuba.
With the OPCW still not having gotten access to Douma and...
We can confirm that the OPCW team has still not been able to enter Douma in Syria. It is now 12 days since the attack took place on men, women, and children, those innocent civilians in Syria. We have credible information that indicates that Russian officials are working with the Syrian regime to deny and to delay these inspectors from gaining access to Douma.
It then does make you increase your concern that...
We believe it is an effort to conduct their own staged investigations. Russian officials have worked with the Syrian regime, we believe, to sanitize the locations of those suspected attacks and remove incriminating evidence of chemical weapons use. We have also watched as some people have seemingly been pressured by the government to change their stories about what actually occurred that night.
You said at one point, we have also watched as people have been pressured into changing their story.
Was there anybody from the State Department who accompanied Director Pompeo to North Korea?
No.
Would it be then fair to characterize that as largely an intelligence community endeavor? And I mean in the broader sense of planning the summit between the two leaders.
I can just say I'm not going to be able to get into the details of Director Pompeo or U.S. government preparations in terms of the preparations for the summit that President Trump intends to have with Kim Jong-un. So there's not a lot I'm going to be able to say about that.
Do it. It's just about official...
Excuse me, but it's so presumptuous.
Well, because I don't think you will.
It's so presumptuous.
Do you need to get a special permit from the State Department to travel to North Korea because there's a travel ban and only special permit?
That is a good
I'm sorry.
Look, I can't get into the details of all that. If there just refer you over to the agency there.
What are their concerns regarding the talks at the North Koreans and the South Koreans?
Obviously, our conversations and negotiations with North Korea, which we've shared with you, have been happening at a high level, that we have had direct contact with the government of North Korea. For specifics, I'm not going to refer to that. I'm not going to get into those details, but I can tell you we are having constant conversations and communications with our other agency and department partners. Of course not. It's about Scott Pruitt. Why would I have an answer about Scott Pruitt?